My name is Abhishek Tiwari, and I am a full stack engineer with 4 years of experience in Angular and .NET. So my topic for demo presentation is Angular framework, and I will be covering like a small introduction and feature and what architecture we are using and future aspects of our Angular. Now, if we come to introduction, so Angular framework is used for application design and development. So, and it's a component-based framework. Suppose you have a dashboard module. So it will be having multiple components. So that page will be divided into multiple components. So it's a component-based framework. Third thing is a collection of well-integrated libraries. Suppose you want to use a reactive form or some kind of theming in your application, then you will be using their libraries, form module, and all those things. All those things called are external module. So, and it also provide you a complete kit of developer tools to help, which will help you to build, test, and update your code. Now we come to feature. So first feature is progressive web app. So progressive web apps are the applications which run on standard browser like Chrome, Safari, Microsoft Edge, but their look and feel, their properties, their feature will be like mobile apps. In mobile apps, we will be able to connect Bluetooth, GPS, and some responsiveness. So this is possible with Angular and React also. So these are the progressive web apps. And second thing is built-in routing and engine. So what they have done for routing, they will load the component. Whenever you click on that navigation, they will just show and hide that component. That is called built-in routing and engine. I can show you here also live example. If we come to LinkedIn, so if we come to LinkedIn from home, if we are navigating to my network, you see this has been changed. This title has been changed, but it has not been loaded. But if we come to SBI, suppose we are on personal and we are going to business one, see it's loading. It's loading, then it will reflect here. But in LinkedIn, how many tabs you change, it doesn't matter, it will not load, and it is efficient also. This takes more time than LinkedIn one, if you see. So this is the advantage of your this thing. Angular. Now, third thing is improved data binding. So earlier when we were using HTML, JavaScript, so through JavaScript, through jQuery, we were fetching that DOM and we were changing the attribute name and all those things, event binding, whatever the things we need to do, we were using jQuery or JavaScript, and it was a bit complex also. But here in Angular, what they have done, so they have given some keyword or some every component has a TS file and HTML file. So whatever the things you want to keep it in a dynamic form, you will be providing here in component, and that will be reflected here in DOM. And there are 4 ways how we can do that. So suppose you want to pass a data from here to here. In that case, you will be using interpolation. So this is a one-way data binding. This is also called one-way data binding. And we use double curly braces and provide the variable name. The value stored by this title will be reflected again. The second thing is property binding. Image has one property, that is SRC. SRC contains the source. So you want to keep the source in a variable which is declared here. So just you have to put a square braces around the SRC and you have to provide the variable name. So it will be fetching that image for you. The third thing is event binding. Event binding is like, suppose there is a button on DOM and when you click that, you want to execute some method. So you have to use a event called click and provide the method name which is declared here. So that method will be triggered when you click on this button. Fourth thing is two-way data binding. So two-way data binding, this one was one-way data binding from here to here. Now two-way data binding is, there is one variable name and it's in binded here in input box through ng model. So name is declared here. Suppose name has value Abhishek. So Abhishek will be shown on DOM. Now, and it's an input box. Suppose someone change on DOM as a Abhishek space Tiwari. So that name variable will be reflected here also in component. That value will be updated. So this is all improved data binding. Now, fourth thing is single page application. If you see here, in regular websites, for every page we will be writing this. This is a header. For every page we will be writing this header code every time. But in single page application, all these things will be divided into a component, and that component can be reused wherever we will need that. And single page application example was what I have shown you on LinkedIn. You see, when we will go to network tab, this is not loading, this is constant, this header is constant. Suppose from network I'm going to home, this is constant, this is not loading, only this page is this is not refreshed, this is hidden. Network tab was hidden and home was visible. Now if I go to from home to network, again my home content will be hidden and network will be visible. So it's just show and hide the component, and every application loads at a single instance. So this is a feature of your single page application. Now, fourth thing is custom component. Suppose you have some model you want to show or pop-up you want to show. For that, you can use a custom component and the value will be changed every time. Title will be changed. So that you can provide there, and for using custom component you will be using that template ID. Suppose you want to show model, flying model. So for that, app.flying model you will use as a tag, HTML tags. Like we have a div tag and input tag. So like that only you can name your custom component and you can use as a tag. So pretty much we are done with feature. Now next thing is architecture. So Angular follows a MVC architecture, model view controller. Like MVC full form is model view controller, but here we call it a model view component. So if you see the module, component, and template, metadata, data binding, directives, services, dependent injection, these are all involved in Angular architecture. Let's see how they are involved. So if you see template are combined with component, how the property binding, values binding we have seen, event binding, when someone click on here or something, it executes a method of component. And component is binded with services. There comes a model. Suppose we want data from API, so that how the API will return data, that will be stored in a model, and that model will reflected here, and from here it goes to here with property binding. Also we have directive like ng if, ng show. When we will have a detailed session, then you will understand more like what are directives and how we use in template. So this is the whole architecture. We have metadata. So metadata are like a data about data, like what we are using here, and those are declared somewhere, like a suppose ng if we are using in template. So what is the functionality of ng if? That will be stored in your metadata. So pretty much we are done with architecture also. Now future. So capability to develop enterprise web apps, mobile apps, progressive web apps. We already discussed about progressive web app. So these features, single page application, lazy loading. Lazy loading is like suppose you are using Facebook. Every time you log in, suppose you have created a account on Facebook, you will not, every time you will not go to create, every time you will go to login only. So for that, what we will do, we will keep sign up page on lazy loading. Every time first login will be come first and sign up page will be loaded later if user clicks on sign up. So this is the feature of lazy loading. And Angular also provide a unit testing. So all this feature or capabilities turning lots of customer into Angular. So according to me, like Angular has a very bright future in development of enterprise web apps, mobile apps, progressive web apps. And the most important thing is this is very easy to learn. So you will not find any difficulty here. Like in a 1 month, you can grasp all the architecture and how to build an application and how to build a progressive web apps. So this is very easy to learn. And what next we have? That's it. Hope you had a great learning. So here my demo presentation ends. Thank you.